Well, hello everybody. Welcome one and welcome all to the Junk Shop Library channel, where we do improv Bible study, wherein we read a chapter at a time of the public domain King James Version of 1611, and then we make merciless mock of it, which is about all the damn thing is good for. I got people in the chat already, and I just now went live. I see Math Pig, I see Critical Cripple. Everybody is making animal noise. And Math Pig beat Dave, which somebody needs to pop some champagne because that ain't never happened before. And Paul. Welcome, Paul. Good to see you. You move the cursor away from the end broadcast button so I don't do nothing silly by mistake. I can hide that now. All right. Well, y'all are here for a bit of an experiment. I'm going to go ahead and change over this banner so I don't forget. I get a gold. Yeah, Math Pig gets a gold star. All right. The experiment I'm going to try is I'm going to see what happens if I do this actually real and for sure every day. I'm just going to see what happens and see how the algorithm likes me. I've been paying way closer than normal attention to my, dagnabbit, what's the word? Metrics, not metrics. My metrics, my stuff, my numbers, my graphs and projections and reflections and stuff. The last couple of days, and I've noticed a trend wherein on days when I content, my up, and days when I don't put out nothing, my numbers go right in the toilet and just kind of sit there neutrally buoyant. Analytics. That's the word. Analytics. Thank you, everybody. That's the word. So I'm gonna experiment a little and see what happens on days when I do a little earlier in the day, a little later in the day, a little longer, a little shorter, and just sort of play around and see what the analytics give me in terms of feedback. So far, I've got 3 people in the chat, which is way more than I normally have, at least straight out the gate. MathPig says, get regular. That's the key. And he has a tip for me. Yeah. I am very blessed, as it were, to have people who provide me feedback and help when I'm honest about needing it. And y'all are some of those people. And some other folks on Twitter, a couple of folks I don't know real well who chimed in on me earlier today when I confessed to having what I affectionately call a bad brain day, and just couldn't get off my butt and get anything done. And some folks chimed in and gave me some advice, and I had a little more coffee, and here we are. All right. Well, let's see. We've done that. I don't have any real channel-related housekeeping other than that. I'm going to play around with the times and the seasons and the days and the years and see what happens. In terms of today, or at least the right now of today, we're still in 1 Samuel. You can tell I'm getting serious because I put on my eyes. Pigs help. Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you. I'm new to this game, and clueless about a lot of things. Now, fortunately, I did take statistics in college, so some of it makes sense to me when I read it. Some of it just seems to be completely and totally arbitrary. All right. We're still in 1 Samuel. We just got tall Saul crowned king of Israel against his protestations and his hiding amongst the stuff. I need more bandwidth. Yep. I think I do. I've got my, let me make sure I've got my resolution turned down. I think I do. General, yep, I got low definition. Wonder if there's a way. Oh dear. No, I don't want to restart my browser. That's ridiculous. Microphone default. I wonder. Is it possible that I'm messing myself up by using all this mess? I can't imagine that would have any significant difference, but I could take off the headset and try just talking into the machine here. Be worth a shot, I suppose. Dave says video keeps stuttering. Yeah, it really, really does. I made the mistake of trying to watch that video about SB90 that I put out yesterday, and oh my goodness, if that audio had drifted any further out of sync, it would have been back in sync. Close close all porn tabs. Yep. Well, I've got number porn up. I got my video details thing open, so I can close that. That's all I've got open at the moment. What is my upload speed? MathPig says. Hey Jay, welcome. Well, I got folks just crowding in. This may be the time of day to do this stuff, I tell you. My upload speed, MathPig, I honestly couldn't tell you. Let's see. It says I'm well connected. Says I'm secured. That's good. Now go away. I got a leaf blower under my window. Bloody hell. If it ain't one thing, it's another. Shh. Google. Oh, Jay's not normally awake. Oh yeah, that's right. Because you're on Australia time, aren't you? I normally see you over on Jen's stuff at what's ungodly hours for me. Upload test. You know what? How bad is it? Is it worth trying to do that right here live, or should we just tough it out? Y'all let me know. No, not rest. Test. I can spell, I promise. I'm a big boy. Okay. You know what? I'm going to check on that later. If this is even tolerable to look at. I don't want to get stuck in a tech support craziness. What, you have only one screen? Yes, I have only, but technically I've got two if you count my cell phone, which is downstairs on the charger because I ran out all its battery playing on TikTok earlier. Yep, because that was a thing that happened. No, don't be quiet. Don't be quiet. I won't. It'll just be me here blathering on to myself, and that can get bad real fast. Dave says, what browser do I use? What am I in? I'm in Chrome. Google Chrome, I'd say, as opposed to the other Chrome that's so prevalent, right? Let's see. Yep, only one screen, and what's even better is this is a laptop that is ancient of days, which is probably part of the trouble. Alrighty. Okay, I appreciate that, Math Pig. I'm kind of at my wit's end here, to be honest. Part of the problem, honestly, is probably my little. Wow, that is hot as a $2 pistol. Why is my webcam overheating? That's probably part of it, isn't it? Why is that so warm? That hadn't been on all day. I know it hasn't. It wasn't plugged in. Okay, well, that could be part of the problem, I suppose, if my peripherals are getting overheated. I don't know why that would be the case. All right. Samuel, what do you got? Tell me the tale of tall-ass Saul. Then, Jesus Louises. Okay, that was a loud noise in my ear. Thank you, Team Skeptic. It's good to know that you're up. Then Nahash the Ammonite came up, and encamped against Jabesh-Gilead. And all the men of Jabesh said unto Nahash, Make a covenant with us, and we will serve thee. And Nahash the Ammonite answered them, On this condition will I make a covenant with you, that I may thrust out all your right eyes, and lay it for a reproach upon all Israel. And the elders of Jabesh said unto him, Give us 7 days' respite, that we may send messengers unto all the coasts of Israel, and then, if there be no man to save us, we will come out to thee. Then came the messengers to Gibeah of Saul, and told the tidings in the ears of the people, and all the people lifted up their voices and wept. And behold, Saul came after the herd out of the field, and Saul said, What aileth the people that they weep? And they told him the tidings of the men of Jabesh. And the Spirit of God came upon Saul when he heard those tidings, and his anger was kindled greatly. And he took a yoke of oxen, and hewed them in pieces, and sent them throughout all the coasts of Israel by the hands of messengers, saying, Whosoever cometh not forth after Saul and after Samuel, so shall it be done unto his oxen. And the fear of the Lord fell upon the people, and they came out with one consent. And when he numbered them in Bezek, the children of Israel were 300,000, and the men of Judah 30,000. And they said unto the messengers that came, Thus shall ye say unto the men of Jabesh-Gilead, Tomorrow, by that time the sun be hot, ye shall have help. And the messengers came, and shewed it to the men of Jabesh, and they were glad. Therefore the men of Jabesh said, Tomorrow we will come out unto you, and ye shall do with us all that seemeth good unto you. And it was so on the morrow, that Saul put the people in 3 companies, and they came into the midst of the host in the morning watch, and slew the Ammonites until the heat of the day. And it came to pass that they which remained were scattered, so that 2 of them were not left together. And the people said unto Samuel, Who is he that said, Shall Saul reign over us? Bring the men, that we may put them to death. And Saul said, There shall not a man be put to death this day, for today the Lord hath wrought salvation in Israel. Then said Samuel to the people, Come, and let us go to Gilgal, and renew the kingdom there. And all the people went to Gilgal, and there they made Saul king before the Lord in Gilgal. And there they sacrificed sacrifices of peace offerings before the Lord. And there Saul and all the men of Israel rejoiced greatly. And there we have 1 Samuel 11. Eventful little mess of a chapter, wasn't it? All righty. Well, 1 Samuel 11. So the moral of the story is, don't threaten to put out Israelites' eyes as a price for their covenanting with you, because tall Saul, the crazy new king, might come and butcher your entire nation. That'll get your attention first thing in the morning. I'm doing my Fountainhead Muppet thing again. That's all we need, in addition to everything else, is to look silly. Let's see. Waste a perfectly good oxen there, chopping them up into pieces and sending them by messenger as a warning. At least it wasn't a concubine, am I right? I hate this fucking book. This is one of those stories that's just in there as a space filler, I swear. Just look at this badass, and this is how this badass became king. A little bit of backstory for him. Shows that he's never been all that incredibly stable, chopping up oxen as messengers and massacring an entire town, and so that not two of them were left to be together. A little foreshadowing of the amazing kingship of good old Saul. There's not a lot going on in chapter 11. Of course, he's king now. He's no longer hiding among the stuff, amongst the baggage. Let's see. We've got 12 coming up. I wonder how much. 1 Samuel. It's not all that long a book, is it? I mean, not that we're going to get through it today. I mean, it's 31 chapters that covers the life of Saul. Good to know. We could probably finish 1 Samuel at least in June. That's good. It's not going to be one of those books like Deuteronomy that I had to psych myself up to do one chapter at a time of. Didn't think we were ever going to finish that mess. The book of the blueprint. Alrighty. Chapter 12 then, yeah? Hopefully something will happen for me to talk about that's not just complaining. Who knows? I'm not going to run super long today because I don't want my computer to show me any more chaos than it already has. Chapter 12. And Samuel said unto all Israel, Behold, I have hearkened unto your voice in all that ye said unto me, and have made a king over you. And now, behold, the king walketh before you, and I am old and grey-headed. And behold, my sons are with you, and I have walked before you from my childhood unto this day. Behold, here I am, witnesses against me before the Lord, and before his anointed. Whose ox have I taken? Or whose ass have I taken? Or whom have I defrauded? Whom have I oppressed? Or of whose hand have I received any bribe to blind mine eyes therewith? And I will restore it to you. I think that's what it says. Yes, restore it to you. Might help if I put these on before I started. And they said, Thou hast not defrauded us, nor oppressed us, neither hast thou taken aught of any man's hand. And he said unto them, The Lord is witness against you, and his anointed is witness this day, that ye have not found aught in my hand. And they answered, He is witness. And Samuel said unto the people, It is the Lord that advanced Moses and Aaron, and that brought your fathers up out of the land of Egypt. Now therefore stand still, that I may reason with you before the Lord of all the righteous acts of the Lord, which he did to you and to your fathers. Great. When Jacob was come into Egypt, and your fathers cried unto the Lord, then the Lord sent Moses and Aaron, which brought forth your fathers out of Egypt, and made them dwell in this place. And when they forgat the Lord their God, he sold them into the hand of Sisera, captain of the host of Hazor, and into the hand of the Philistines, and into the hand of the king of Moab, and they fought against them. And they cried unto the Lord, and said, We have sinned, because we have forsaken the Lord, and have served Baalim and Ashtaroth. But now deliver us out of the hand of our enemies, and we will serve thee. And the Lord sent Jerubbaal, and Bedan, and Jephthah, and Samuel, and delivered you out of the hand of your enemies on every side, and ye dwelled safe. And when ye saw that Nahash, the king of the children of Ammon, came against you, ye said unto me, Nay, but a king shall reign over us, when the Lord your God was your king. Now therefore, behold the king whom ye have chosen, and whom ye have desired, and behold, the Lord hath set a king over you. If ye will fear the Lord, and serve him, and obey his voice, and not rebel against the commandment of the Lord, then shall both ye, and also the king that reigneth over you, continue following the Lord your God. But if you will not obey the voice of the Lord, but rebel against the commandment of the Lord, then shall the hand of the Lord be against you, as it was against your fathers. Now therefore stand and see this great thing which the Lord will do before your eyes. Is it not wheat harvest today? I will call unto the Lord, and he shall send thunder and rain, that ye may perceive and see that your wickedness is great, which ye have done in the sight of the Lord, in asking you a king. So Samuel called unto the Lord, and the Lord sent thunder and rain that day, and all the people greatly feared the Lord and Samuel. And all the people said unto Samuel, Pray for thy servants unto the Lord thy God, that we die not, for we have added unto all our sins this evil, to ask us a king. And Samuel said unto the people, Fear not, ye have done all this wickedness, yet turn not aside from following the Lord, but serve the Lord with all your heart, and turn ye not aside. For then should ye go after the vain things, which cannot profit nor deliver, for they are vain. For the Lord will not forsake his people for his great name's sake, because it hath pleased the Lord to make you his people. Moreover, as for me, God forbid that I should sin against the Lord in ceasing to pray for you, but I will teach you the good and the right way. Only fear the Lord, and serve him in truth with all your heart, for consider how great things he hath done for you. But if ye still do wickedly, ye shall be consumed, both ye and your king. And there we have 1 Samuel 12. Hurrah! Doodly-doodly-doo. I know what I'm doing. Dave's got to run. See you, Dave. Take care. Alrighty. So once again, Samuel sings Yahweh's favorite song. Nanny boo boo, I done told you so. So, he starts off saying, Hadn't I done right by you? I hadn't taken any bribes, unlike my children. I hadn't done you wrong, unlike my children. I'm old and tired, unlike my children. I haven't taken anything. I haven't defrauded anyone. No one has been oppressed under my reign. And how do you repay me? Belly aching and moaning to the Lord to give your ass a king. And he gave you a king. You got a king now. I hope you're frickin' happy. You can be just like all the nations round about you, having a king. And he goes all the way back to the days of Jacob and catches them up real quick, reminding them that God's taken care of them all this time, except when they forget God. And that's when they get sold into the hands of Sisera and the Philistines and the Moabite king. And they always come crying back to Daddy. Nobody takes care of us like Daddy Yahweh takes care of us. And God always takes them back. Beats them up real good for running away, but always takes them back. This is one dysfunctional relationship here. I hate this character. This Yahweh character. This guy is a pain in the ass. And he's gross. And he's misogynistic. And this is not a good character. People like this guy. What is there to like about this fucking character anyway? That's what happens when we hit a slow part of the book. Old man Junkshop starts ranting and raving. What is it that people like about this character? That's what I want to know. Is it the always forgiving? That you can fuck up as bad as many times as you feel like it and he'll always take you back, assuming you're willing to suck up to him? Is that the appeal? Doesn't seem very appealing to me. Him just sitting on high on his mighty throne, waiting for you to realize how bad you fucked up and come crawling back and beg to be readmitted to his special ass presence. And why Jesus? We won't get to Jesus for a couple of 100 pages yet, but what need for Jesus if God will always take you back no matter how bad you fuck up? All you got to do is throw away your Ashtaroth poles and turn away from your Baalim. Hell, back in God's floating lamp days, he didn't even require exclusive worship. He let what's her name keep all of her household gods that she stole from her daddy. Didn't do anything about it. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess, this book. It's almost like it was written by committee and cobbled together over the course of half a millennium. Like half of it's fan fiction and half of it's badly translated from an original that was found in a Google Doc somewhere. You ever tried to translate anything just for the hell of it? It's an interesting exercise. It gives you some perspective. I used to play around with Latin when I was in college. Took 4 semesters of Latin. About all I retained out of that is Gallia estamna divisa in partes tres and E te laicacine. All France is divided into 3 parts, and go fuck yourself. It's true. Don't ever accuse Mr. Junkshop Channel of not being educational. You just learned how to say go fuck yourself in ancient Latin. E, imperative form of the verb to go. Te, reflexive pronoun, something you do to yourself. Laicacine, imperative form of a vulgar verb referring to copulation. Go yourself fuck. Don't say I never gave you nothing. I bestow upon you my knowledge from my vast repertoire. You know you love it. All right. What was it that just happened before I went on that random-ass tear? Where the hell were we? Consumed, both ye and your king. That's right. Okay. Aren't you glad you picked today to tune in? Turn away from the Baalim and the Ashtaroth. Turn aside. Now, therefore, behold the king. Here you go. You've got a king now. Aren't you happy? But don't forget, God's still God. You know what God's going to do to remind you that he's God? Despite the fact that you've turned away from his profit-making and insisted on you having yourself a king, he's going to bring a thunderstorm on you on the very day of the wheat harvest. Boom! Crash! Please stop that, Samuel. Please don't make... You're going to ruin our wheat. We're not going to have anything to eat for the next year. Please make him stop. Samuel says, okay, they get the point. cuts off the waterworks. Dick move there. The Lord sent thunder and rain, and all the people greatly feared the Lord and Samuel. Fear not, says Samuel. Ye have done wickedness, but serve him and you'll be all right. And I'll keep on praying for you. Don't worry about that. Even despite the fact that you've turned your back on me and insisted on having a king like everybody else around you, I'm going to keep on praying for you. Don't worry. It's going to be all right. But if ye shall still do wickedly, ye shall be consumed, both ye and your king. Straighten up and fly right, God damn it. And with that, that only slightly passive-aggressive threat, we roll into chapter 13. And I think I even made a banner for that. Hey, look at me. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. 13. Thank goodness for that last cup of coffee. I'd have been in rough shape if I had... Whoops. I'm tearing out pages, and I'm not even meaning to. And Saul reigned 1 year. And when he had reigned 2 years over Israel, Saul chose him 3,000 men of Israel, whereof 2,000 were with Saul in Michmash and in Mount Bethel, and 1,000 were with Jonathan in Gibeah of Benjamin, and the rest of the people he sent every man to his tent. And Jonathan smote the garrison of the Philistines that was in Geba, and the Philistines heard of it. And Saul blew the trumpet throughout the land, saying, Let the Hebrews hear. And all Israel heard say that Saul had smitten a garrison of the Philistines, and that Israel also was had in abomination with the Philistines. And the people were called together after Saul to Gilgal. And the Philistines gathered themselves together to fight with Israel, 30,000 chariots and 6,000 horsemen, and people as the sand which is on the seashore in multitude. And they came up and pitched in Michmash, eastward from Beth Aven. When the men of Israel saw that they were in a strait, for the people were distressed, then the people did hide themselves in caves, and in thickets, and in rocks, and in high places, and in pits. And some of the Hebrews went over Jordan to the land of Gad and Gilead. As for Saul, he was yet in Gilgal, and all the people followed him trembling. And he tarried 7 days, according to the set time that Samuel had appointed. But Samuel came not to Gilgal, and the people were scattered from him. And Saul said, Bring hither a burnt offering to me, and peace offerings. And he offered the burnt offering. And it came to pass that, as soon as he had made an end of offering the burnt offering, behold, Samuel came. And Saul went out to meet him, that he might salute him. And Samuel said, What hast thou done? And Saul said, Because I saw that the people were scattered from me, and that thou camest not within the days appointed, and that the Philistines gathered themselves together at Michmash. Therefore said I, The Philistines will come down now upon me to Gilgal, and I have not made supplication unto the Lord. I forced myself, therefore, and offered a burnt offering. And Samuel said to Saul, Thou hast done foolishly. Thou hast not kept the commandment of the Lord thy God, which he commanded thee. For now would the Lord have established thy kingdom upon Israel forever. But now thy kingdom shall not continue. The Lord hath sought him a man after his own heart, and the Lord hath commanded him to be captain over his people, because thou hast not kept that which the Lord commanded thee. And Samuel rose, and gat him up from Gilgal unto Gibeah of Benjamin. And Saul numbered the people that were present with him, about 600 men. And Saul and Jonathan his son, and the people that were present with them, abode in Gibeah of Benjamin, but the Philistines encamped in Michmash. And the spoilers came out of the camp of the Philistines in 3 companies. 1 company turned unto the way that leadeth to Ophrah, unto the land of Shual. And another company turned the way to Beth Horon, and another company turned to the way of the border that looketh to the valley of Zeboim toward the wilderness. Now there was no smith found throughout all the land of Israel, for the Philistines said, lest the Hebrews make them swords or spears. But all the Israelites went down to the Philistines, to sharpen every man his share, and his coulter, and his axe, and his mattock. Yet they had a file for the mattocks, and for the coulters, and for the forks, and for the axes, and to sharpen the goads. So it came to pass in the day of battle that there was neither sword nor spear found in the hand of any of the people that were with Saul and Jonathan, but with Saul and with Jonathan his son was there found. Let me try verse 22 again. So it came to pass on the day of battle that there was neither sword nor spear found in the hand of any of the people that were with Saul and Jonathan, but with Saul and with Jonathan his son was there found. And the garrison of the Philistines went out to the passage of Michmash. Okay. So Saul's son Jonathan, whom never fear, we will meet again. Change my banner one more time. There we go. Samuel. All right. Jonathan smote a garrison of the Philistines, and the Philistines got word of it and said, "Oh, hell no." And the Philistines rounded up 30,000 chariots and 6,000 horsemen and went down and mounted a little show of force there in the plain of Michmash. And the men of Israel said, "Good Lord, they're everywhere. 6,000 and 3,000 chariots and horsemen, and they got scared and ran away and hid themselves." And Saul said, "Oh, fine. Y'all just hide. We will send up a smoke signal and offer it a burnt offering. And look, lo and behold, old man Samuel come pop up as soon as the fire from the offering went up, almost as if he'd been on his way the whole time." Cause and effect. Samuel kind of rakes Saul over the coals for offering an offering rather than going into battle. Says, "You should have had faith, damn it." Saul says, "But look at all the chariots." Samuel says, "Nope. Nope. You should have had faith. Should have gone to war like you were supposed to. Philistines. Who the hell's scared of Philistines these days? You're king, damn it. You've got an army and God on your side." Saul says, "Oh yeah, that's right." Samuel says, "You know what we're going to do? Your kingdom's not going to endure. We're going to pick somebody else out to rule over Israel instead of your ass because you don't follow instructions too good." Saul's response is not recorded. Saul and his 600 men, none of whom have weapons, all of whom have farming equipment, because the Philistines won't let anybody set up a smithy because they're afraid the Israelites will make weapons of war. So in order to get your pickaxes and your plowshares sharpened, you got to trek all the way down to Philistia. Go to a Philistine sanctioned smithy. Get your pickaxe sharpened and your hoe readied and your plowshares all got a good edge on them. So the only swords and spears in the entire camp belong to Saul and to Jonathan, because they've hung on to theirs all this time from the olden days. And there's war coming, with the Philistines no less. My ancient enemy. And Samuel, not to be of too much help, just wanders away and leaves Saul to face down the spoilers who have come out from the Philistine encampment and taken up the entire intervening ground. And there they sit. And honestly, I think there we'll leave it, because chapter 14 is long. Long and busy. Sin, see offerings, a long story about an armor bearer, and honey. So, I guess we'll reconvene tomorrow for the story of Jonathan's armor bearer and the phantom honey on the ground. At least that's what I gathered just from scanning through the next chapter. I know I'm not really at the top of my game today. I'm not sure what's going on. Just keeping on, keeping on. You know how it goes sometimes, I'm sure. But I am going to try to do this every day, at least for a week, and see how my analytics look. I'm seeing a slow but steady uptick in all the good numbers. People actually talking in the comments. It's a damn miracle. I've been doing this for a little over a year, and I've been having entirely too much fun along the way, even on days when I can't seem to dredge significant meaning or comedy out of this interesting little book, which on some days we find chapters that are a little more interesting than others. What can you do? Like I said, it's enough to make you think it was written by committee and slapped together all slapdash and haphazard over the course of half a millennium. It's the weirdest damn thing. I appreciate y'all all for coming by. If you want to support the channel, go check out one of the shorter videos, because you probably had about enough of this marvelous voice over the last 44 minutes. Have mercy. But check out one of the short videos. Just run through it real quick. Make sure you hit that thumbs up as you get toward the end. It'd be very helpful for my poor little channel. And of course, quick little plug for your friend and mine, Purple Rhymes with Orange. He's going to be moving tomorrow. And I think the fundraising pool is still open. If you've got a little extra coin, you still got a little time to throw his way before he has to get on the road. And on that note, I think I'm going to wrap things up. Everybody, we hadn't had a cat in 3 damn years. I've got cat hair on my ankle. Until we meet again, everybody take care, be safe, stand against hate. And we'll see you around. Bye now.